Hey guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do a review of this, the Maybelline, is it Maybelline? Yeah, Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. So it is pretty new out in the UK. I don't know whether it's been out in the USA for a while or not, but yeah, I was interested because it said matte and poreless, and those, I do look for something matte because I've got oily skin, and if it covers pores, great. Hold on, that's puppy. So where was I? I like anything that says that it's going to cover pores. I like anything that says it's going to be matte. So let me tell you what the price is, how I found it for the last 3 days. This is the third day that I'm wearing it. I've got it on just now. I haven't unfortunately done a video where I'm applying it. I might see if I can do that later, but if I don't get a chance, I apologise. I tend to do first impression reviews because I know that when something's out in the shops, people will be eager to go and try it, and sometimes in the first impression review you can get all of the information you need. Certainly for me, if I was watching this video, when I talk about ingredients, that would be enough for me to say no, I'm not interested, and kind of cross it off the list. But I know that it is helpful for you to see it, and it's sometimes helpful when people do these videos of filming it throughout the day. Unfortunately, I don't have a chance to do that just now, so I thought that giving you most of the information is better than nothing. So it is £5.99. So I have to say it's a really good price. The only thing is it came like this, like it was already, looks like it's been used up a lot. But I mean, it says it's got 30ml in it, so you have to assume that they are being honest and it has 30ml in it. But I still think £5.99 is a great price for a foundation. There is only 6 colours, and I found that difficult because this one is 105 and this is the lightest. That's the one I've got on today. And I think that people will be lighter than this. And I think if you have very light skin, you might struggle. This is 105. And like I said, I think that if you are fair, that might not be fair enough for you. There's many other foundations that do a much lighter one. Like if you're looking at this going, yeah, that's not going to be light enough for me, you could either use the Body Shop lightening drops, but I mean, that's quite an expensive way of doing it. But I know that Max Factor Face Finity do a really nice light one. But this one is just, it's not even that it's not light enough, it's just got a little bit too much sort of yellow, slightly yellow in it. It's not even neutral, if you know what I mean. I think sometimes when you've got pale skin, if it's a neutral foundation but a tad too dark, you can maybe get away with it. But I feel like certainly on this, for me, if it was too light, it would gather. And actually this one did gather a bit on my lip. I did a video with this on. Now what was it? I can't remember, but I had a bright red lipstick on in it. And I could see that it looked like I had foundation around my lip, and that normally only happens when a foundation is too dark for me. This is definitely not too dark. I thought about getting one of the other colours, which is 115, which is also called something ivory, because this one is called natural ivory, and I think the other one was something else ivory, but it was too orangey. And so although there's 6 colours, I felt like I had a choice between 2, and the other one was just too orangey, and so I had to go with this one. So there's not a huge range, but maybe that's because it's new and maybe they'll add more colours in. But that's that colour there anyway. So 6 colours, £5.99. I'll read you what they say about it and tell you if I think those claims are okay or true, and then we'll talk about the ingredients, which are not showing on the Boots website, funny enough. So it says, Fit Me Matte and Poreless has been designed for normal to oily skin. Okay, I've decided today actually that I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think that you can make a foundation for normal to oily skin, because if you've got normal skin, then you're not worrying about oil, and you don't need something to mattify, and you might prefer something matte, but you don't need something to stop the oil. You don't need, it's a different need. To me, a normal skin and an oily skin is a completely different need. So I feel like a normal to oily skin foundation doesn't make sense to me. There should be one for normal skin and one for oily skin. So them saying they've designed it for normal to oily skin, in my mind, means they've designed it for normal to very slightly oily skin. And I certainly have very oily to very oily skin, depending on my medication. It says it's blurring micro powders refines for pores whilst shine is being absorbed for a natural matte finish. I did not find any blurring. It doesn't feel like it's got micro powders in it. It didn't do anything for my pores, and it sort of absorbed shine, but not for very long. It doesn't tell you how long you can expect it to last. I used it on day 1 with the Rimmel primer, BB cream, which I use as a day cream. I use BB creams as a day cream, and it was the Radiance one that I used, and then I used this on top. And that was not a good combination at all. Within an hour, my face just looked like a greasy, cakey mess. It was horrible, really horrible. The following day, I used it with the Rimmel BB matte. Was it BB matte? No, not matte, just the normal one. And it was a little bit better. I didn't look so shiny within a couple of hours, but it's still sort of, the foundation looked cakey to me. Today I have it on with my trusted Dr. Jart BB cream, which is what I usually use, and that normally makes the foundation look good. So my thinking was, if it doesn't look good today with Dr. Jart, then there's just no hope for it. So I'll give you a close-up just in case I don't manage to do that video of what it looks like. But then I do think it looks really nice when it's first on from a certain distance, like even from the distance you are now, it maybe looks nice. But if I do a real close-up, hopefully you'll be able to see that it's, let's see, focus, there we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see that it is actually very patchy already. I found it very, very difficult to get a smooth finish with this. Sorry, I suppose I'm jumping from one aspect to the other, aren't I? Application, when I first put it on, it feels lovely going on. It's very thin. It's weird because it's a liquid foundation, I would say. It's more like a liquid foundation in a tube. So if I show you, the fact that it will drop off itself, to me, makes that a liquid as opposed to a cream. But it feels very lovely and lightweight going on. It doesn't mention about it being lightweight there, but it does feel very lightweight. I would say that it is medium coverage, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's buildable, because I tried to build it up over my nose and sort of T-zone area because it was only medium. I like a fuller coverage foundation, and it looked terrible. So I wouldn't recommend building it up, and if you're looking for a full cover, it's not a good choice. So, but other than that, it felt lovely going on. I couldn't get it to go without being streaky. It was just, I tried different brushes. I've used my Real Techniques buffing brush. I used my beauty blender, but that just made it like a light coverage, so I had to go back in with more. I think that was the day where I was building it up in my T-zone. And then this morning I used my number 7 artist brush, because that's the one I love for applying all foundations. And it just, like I said, I just couldn't get that streakiness away. I'd put it on and look at my chin, and it just was streaky, and I had to then sort of pat it a little bit, you know, to get a good finish. But it feels nice going on. Then I put a powder on, and like I said, I think it looks lovely from a distance. It doesn't look terrible. It looks very smooth, and you know, my skin looks very smooth, and wouldn't say it looks perfect. I've got foundations that I prefer, but it looks matte. It doesn't look too flat. Hopefully you agree with that. It looks nice enough. But again, I've had this on for 45 minutes maybe, and I can already see very slightly that I'm getting a bit shiny here, and I can already see, I don't think you'll be able to see this on screen, but that what happened the last 2 days is it got cakey, and it sort of gathered here. So when I looked in the mirror, there was foundation missing here, and you could actually just see this big cakiness. You know, I always feel like blotting it, like, oh no, that doesn't look good. I'm not selling it here, I know, but usually when I do a single product review, I'm telling you the good points and the bad points, and you know, then you can kind of decide for yourself. But there's very few good points for me personally to talk about with this, other than, like I said, it felt nice on the skin, and it looks pretty nice once done, but it just doesn't last very long on me at all, you know. And I've got a feeling that even with this Dr. Jart underneath it, then in a couple of hours it will look cakey again, as it did yesterday and the day before. The only difference was using a matte primer. It doesn't look so shiny so quickly. It still looks cakey, but it doesn't look so shiny. And if my Dr. Jart can't rescue this foundation for me, then it just has no hope in my eyes. So I'm just going to tell you about ingredients. I know that doesn't matter to everybody, but it does to quite a lot of you. So let me get my glasses on. It's got, water is the first ingredient. It's then got some silicone, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th ingredient on this is denatured alcohol, so straight up alcohol, which I understand why they've put it in, and that's why it feels very lightweight putting it on, and it sort of spreads around the face very easily, because it's got alcohol in it, and also because that will cover the people with oily skin, because as I've said probably a million times, I liked the feeling of of alcohol when I was using it a couple of years ago on my oily skin, because it's the opposite to oil, you know, it breaks down the oil and it makes your skin feel drier, and so therefore it feels good. but over time it makes it more oily. But also if you've got sensitive skin, you'll not want to be putting alcohol on it. So to me, I think you won't be doing yourself any favours if you use this if you've got oily skin, and I think if you've got sensitive skin you should steer it clear of it. As for the silicone, it doesn't feel silicone-y, I have to say. It's not one of those, it doesn't feel greasy at all to me. Some of silky, I suppose is probably the word. I don't like that silky feeling. To me it feels greasy. So I think that's everything to tell you about this foundation. I'm sorry that wasn't very positive, but I know that you guys appreciate my honest reviews. So if any of you were wanting to buy it and wondering about it, then hopefully that has swayed you one way or another. I haven't looked up any reviews of this, so I don't know if this may be one of those foundations that's raved about, for all I know. In fact, like the Lumi cushion one, I might do a review of that just now actually, but I don't like that one either, so I'm not really doing any positive reviews. That's okay, because I do find things that I love. But that one I know that people love. I have seen that YouTubers love the L'Oreal Lumi cushion, and I don't love it, unfortunately. I didn't like that one at all. So yeah, anyway, I hope that was useful. Let me tell you what I've got on my face. I've got this on as the foundation, and my Dr. Jart BB cream. On my eyes, I used the Bobbi Brown Violet Plum, not caviar stick, that's Laura Mercier, the cream, long wear cream eyeshadow. And I took my crease colour quite high up because my eyeliner went onto my eyes and I needed to fix it, and it was just a disaster. They're a bit darker than I had intended, but hey ho. On my cheeks I have got the Urban Decay blush in Obsessed, and then on my lips I had the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lipstick in Angela's, and then I put this Buxom lip gloss on top, as you saw it, in White Russian. This necklace is from Forever 21. This t-shirt is from H&M. It's just a nice little grey t-shirt. This bracelet is, isn't it cute? It is from Topshop. And I think that's everything. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.